Okay, hi. My neighbor's tree looks really freaking red behind me. Okay, let me turn on some lights and see if this lighting looks better. What is up, Star Seeds? I am Sydalexandria, and today we are going to be talking about why some spirits are ghosts, are earthbound spirits. Like, what types of people, what they were like when they were alive, who are more likely to be in this ghost realm and not go into the light. Because in my last video, I talked about how we can help souls cross over into the light if they so choose to accept our assistance with that, if they're kind of confused. But we're going to be talking about more so why they're confused, what situations make people more prone to be more confused once they die. Okay, so let's try to really think about this and understand it really is more so common sense. So death is confusing when it happens to some people. Sometimes they don't know that they died, right? Like I explained in my last video a little bit that like maybe why they haven't gone into the light is because they don't even know that they're dead yet. So why would someone not realize that they're dead? Well, some of us have had near-death experiences, and it might not even be an NDE. Okay, it might not be like a near-death experience where like you literally die and then are brought back. I've seen that happen to people, but it might be a situation where like you were almost in a car accident or something, but like you didn't actually get in that car accident. Something like that. That's like a near-death experience. You know what I'm saying? So what if that actually happened and you died instantly in that car accident? You would be probably confused, like, wait, did I pass out? Like, am I like having some kind of concussion or something? Like, what's happening? Or like, did I fall asleep and am I dreaming? Like, what is happening? You might try to rationalize it. Or if you get killed and like someone came up behind you randomly or something, or there was some nuclear explosion and it was like instant for you, or some weird thing that was super instant and very unexpected and felt more external of you, you probably aren't realizing that you're dead when it first happens. So those are just some baseline examples of super obvious things as to why you might be confused when you're dead. But so let's talk about people who go into the light right away. People who go into the light right away, they tend to be more spiritual people who, religious people, because they're like, yes, I'm going to heaven, I know what it is, boom, I'm going there, and they're very confident about it, right? That's cool. People who are sick and they're expecting to die, people who have cancer or have some kind of disease, or have been really sick for a while, or are older, people who are older but who have kind of already accepted that to an extent. Usually they're like, oh, okay, and like they're not really surprised by it, like it's my time now. Even some people who are really sad, some people who commit suicide even will go right into the light because they're like, yeah, I need to get out of here. I need to go into that light. And so they are very conscious of what happened, possibly because they did it to themselves in a more physical sense, not even just a conscious choosing, but a very physical choosing, whether or not it went against their higher self's choice for them, which is a different story, and a touchy subject. But so there's some souls who it just kind of makes sense. They go into the light. Like they were ready for that. They expected that. They understand what that is. Like I said, a lot of spiritual people will go right into the light. Now let's talk again about the people who are more confused, are more prone to being confused. So people who, I don't want to say people who are atheists are more prone to being confused, but they might be more prone into going into the light because they might just like not really trust that light. They might just want to kind of linger more. People who are rapists, who are murderers, who are pedophiles, who are addicts, who are alcoholics, who are into a more low vibrational lifestyle, who have made bad choices, are more likely to be in this kind of victim mentality or this like predator mentality where they are lingering in like the shadows more. They're lurking in the shadows. They want to be more earth bound, and kind of they are choosing to put themselves in this kind of trapped predicament of this like ghostly not going into the light realm, because you can still be a ghost and have gone into the light. It's just more so of an angelic presence, or it's more so of a kind of, it's less prominent because it's less of your energy is there. Because once you go into the light, like most of your energy is in the light, or then is at the Stargate and has gone into another major incarnation. But when you're like a ghost who hasn't gone into the light, it's like most of your energy from this life is still here. Once you go into the light and like go to a different life and all that, there's always going to be lingering energy that you can tap into. Like I'm sure like grandparents, possibly parents, things like that, they, for like you guys and whoever, your relatives who have died, like I'm sure most of them have gone into the light, but you can still get messages from them because it's that message from either one, that lingering energy of that soul, which will always be there. That's why we can tap into different events throughout history. We can tap into different people throughout history. We can tap into deceased loved ones even after they're already in these other lives and their energies other places. There's still that lingering energy of Grandma Stella or whoever, you know? And then also, you can tap into who she is now. You can get a message more so from herself now, and it's going to feel very different. You can feel what that energy is playing out now. That's what I tap into a lot for people when they ask me about, you know, so-and-so has died. Usually, there's not a message from that sliver of remaining energy. Usually, I get a message like, oh, that soul is in Andromeda, or they're waiting in Lyra and Vega, or something like that. I kind of feel what that soul is doing now. Side topic, sorry. So I remember when I was in high school, I had a close family friend die, and he was like middle-aged. We weren't expecting him to die or anything like that, but I just remember getting this feeling when he died. I'm pretty sure he was found in really bad shape, laying on the floor. He had not any diagnosed health problems before, but they found that he had quite a bit of health issues just from like smoking and drinking and stress and stuff. And, you know, things that no one can really explain. Who knows what caused it? Probably the typical American diet and lifestyle. But so he was found in really bad shape. And so he went to the hospital immediately and was put on dialysis and all this, right? And for like a day or two he was there, but one night I got this feeling that like, oh, he died. And he's a little confused, but he kind of knows, and maybe not immediately, but very quickly he was okay with it. And he had this message of like, it's okay if my wife moves on. And I was like, whoa, already, buddy? But he just had this understanding. And he wasn't a super spiritual person. He was a very chillaxed, like open-minded person, yet traditional. But I don't know, you could just kind of see that instant like awakening within him after he crossed over. And he did pretty much go right into the light. And I don't know if I would have expected him to or not prior. I'd never really thought about it, obviously. But it happens to a lot of people. They'll just choose to go into that light because it's amazing. But then there's some people where you would have thought that they would have went into that light, but they didn't. The majority of people do go into the light right away, by the way. But it just like, it depends on the person, obviously. And there's situations in life that make people more prone to go into the light or be more confused. So I just wanted to kind of film this video because it's something that is neat to think about, is, you know, it might be important to think about, so that if something like this happens to you one day, which is, it's going to happen to all of us one day, you just kind of go into it with a greater understanding. And you don't have to believe anything that I say. This is just like my experience as a medium, and someone who is like an Akashic Records reader, who has had experiences tapping into especially the death scenes of people. And like I said, that experience of right when somebody died. But it's just something that I can tap into pretty easily. And everyone can tap into this. It's just about, you know, like really unlocking and developing that ability more and trusting your intuition more. And I know that there's people who don't consider themselves psychic who have had similar experiences to me, feeling when someone does cross over. It's a very real thing that people can feel that sense of. So yeah, peace out.